Okay guys, now I'm working on a Joplin 9-inch quick action woodworking vise. It's got quite an unusual quick release mechanism, and the nut is basically split in two. It's like a clamshell, and when you pull the quick release lever, it's meant to separate the two nuts, the two halves of the nut. So I think it's missing a bolt out the middle there. There's a thread in that hole and there should be a pin in there that helps keep it all aligned. So yeah, we'll get it stripped down, cleaned up, and see if we can get it back together and see if we can get it working properly. So I got it all apart. It put up a little bit of a fight, but it wasn't too bad. So you can see all the bits here. These are the two sections of the nut. So those two clamp together with that spring around them. And sort of, yeah, the spring keeps them shut. And then, yeah, the quick release lever just opens the two halves apart of the nut, and then it will slide. It's the quick release and all the other bits and pieces. So it's a fairly simple vise. There's nothing too complicated about it. I'm hoping I can keep that original orange paint. It's got most of its paint, but it comes off really easy. It's not stuck on very well. It flakes off unbelievably easy. I mean, all this here flaked off just with the airline. I was blasting all the dust off it, so I don't know. I'd like to keep the original paint if I can on this one, just because you don't see too many of them, and yeah, it'd be nice to keep it original. But yeah, we'll see how we go. I've got to clean all the rust off this other stuff first, all these other parts, get all the rust off it, get it all nice back to bare metal and clean and smooth. And yeah, see if we can get it working as it should. So I got all the rust cleaned off, everything is back to bright shiny metal. So that's really good. So next I'm going to try and assemble it and see if I can get it all working. I still haven't decided what I'm going to do with this paint on these cast iron sections. I'd really love to keep it because it's original and it's mostly there. There's not that much missing, but it's just so soft and flaky that I'm worried that when I try and clean it and clean the rusty bits, I just think it's all going to flake off. So I don't know. We'll come back to that. Let's get it assembled and see if we can get it working. Okay, so I got it back together and it's working okay. I've had to make a few modifications. I'll show you those in a minute, but at the moment it's in a quick release mode. So that works quite nicely. Pull the lever down and wind it in. So that works okay. I'm happy with that. So, the modifications I've had to make. I've changed that spring on the end for a much stronger one. I've drilled and tapped and put a bolt in the end of that rail there. I'm going to do the same on the other side so they match, because that end plate piece kept coming off. It would not stay on. I fitted a bolt in there and used a nut and a couple of washers to space it out. So that was the right size imperial bolt that fitted that hole. But I don't know what the original one looked like, whether it was some sort of fancy bolt or what. But that seems to be working anyway. So there's those modifications I've made. I found the spring kept popping off for the quick release lever. So what I've had to do, just about see it, where are we? Down there. You can just about see the end of the spring there. That spring kept coming out and moving around and not doing as it was told. So I actually got the Dremel and ground a little groove for the end of that spring to sit in, and it was much happier after that. And then the final thing I found I had to do was this quick release handle was just a tight fit on the end of the spindle that it goes onto. So what I've actually done is I've actually TIG welded. I've welded the quick release to the spindle, because the lever was turning independently of the spindle behind it, which was obviously not right. So now when I pull that lever, the quick release lever, it makes the bar the flat bar goes sideways, which spreads the nut. Probably see that a bit better down here. So that's in the normal position with the piece of bar flat like that, and then when I turn it to quick release, it goes sideways. And that's all it is. That just spreads the two halves of the nuts. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. I managed to clean up the front a bit, just with some WD-40 and a rag, so I think I'm going to leave it like that for now and maintain that original paint. It's hard to see with the lighting in here, but it's come up alright. It's not perfect, but at least it's original. I like original paint where I can. So yeah, I'm going to drill and tap the other end of that other rail that I haven't done. And then I might mess around with this a little bit more, these spacers. Maybe see if I can get it working a little bit better, but I'm pretty happy with it. Pretty happy. So yeah, not bad for a day's work, or half a day's work. So yep,